All right, so here we are in layout, and what we're going to do is take our proposed conditions model that we just got ready for layout using the condoc tools, and we're going to set up some pages to present perspectives 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to add elevations 1, 2, and 3 to a page, and then you'll see how we can set this all up to an architectural scale, build it into this dynamic presentation. So really the big idea here is that this one SketchUp model, what we're looking at here, this proposed design, this model is going to be linked to layout to produce a presentation packet, and then it's also going to be linked to Lumion to create all of the higher end visualizations. So we'll create some still renderings and likely some animations and a My Lumion virtual tour, because it is just so easy to do all that. So for this tutorial though, I'm going to walk you through how we use the condoc tools to get this into layout. So we've created all of our scenes. Those are all ready to go, and we used our condoc tools to do that. You could, if you don't have the condoc tools, you can certainly add these manually, and keep in mind that the perspective tool is always free, so you can grab the condoc tools and just use that at least for your perspective. So let's hop over into layout, and this is the first screen you'll see, and basically we need to choose a template. So I've been kind of goofing around with some different tutorials, so let me set up my templates folder first. I'm going to go to Edit and Preferences, and then we're going to go to Folders, and for templates I'm going to click on the plus sign, and we're going to go to our Dropbox, Resources, and I've got my templates. So I'll say OK. Alright, so now in layout I'll go to File, New. I can start a new document, and now you can see that I've got my templates. So here we have our standard issue Brightman Design Studios 11 by 17 landscape presentation style. So this is kind of our go-to template whenever we're creating kind of simple design packets. I mean, if we were doing a full set of drawings, we'd have a little bit more action on the title block, but this is just kind of standard issue. We've got our logo, page numbers, everything's set up with our layers already, so good to go. Now, typically you would go to File and choose Insert, and you would insert the SketchUp model, that proposed design model, and you'd have to go through a bunch of different settings in order to get that set up. But what we do is we use the condoc tools. So if I go to my scrapbooks, and just like before, I need to go to Edit, Preferences, Scrapbooks, Folders, Scrapbooks, and I'm going to choose from my Dropbox, Resources, and we've got condoc version 2, Imperial, looking good. Okay, so now in order to insert our model in, so rather than choosing File, Insert, and just dropping in these viewports and having to go through all the tedious task of like choosing a scale, choosing a view, setting up all of your different render settings and line weights and optimizing all of that, well, we've already done all that for you. So you've got a bunch of different plans, but then you also have your elevations and your perspectives. So I'm going to choose the perspective scrapbook, and here you'll notice that we've got perspective 1, 2, 3, and 4. I could either drag one perspective at a time, or if I click and drag from that middle grouping, I can bring 4 in at a time. So that's kind of a slick thing, and then we'll just scale this down to fit the page, and maybe even make it a little bit more of a wide angle. So that looks pretty good. So there's my 4 perspectives, and then I want to add some elevations as well. So I just click on Add a Page, and now we're going to go to our elevation views. So here we are, elevation, and now you're going to choose the different elevation numbers. You've got elevations 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me scoot this down a little bit, make it bigger. So we've got elevation 1 and 2 and 3. So it goes up to like, I forget, maybe 10 or so. So elevation 1, let's work at, I think I want to get everything on this one page. So I'm going to work at 1/8 inch scale. So I'll drop that on there. There's an 1/8 inch elevation 1, and then we're going to drop 1/8 inch elevation 2, and we're going to drop 1/8 inch elevation 3. Alright, so we've dropped all those in, and let's add one more page, and we're going to do an enlarged elevation. So when I go back and look at my elevations here, I forget which one was like the front, so maybe we'll do one elevation, like a kind of a blow up detail of not elevation 1, but maybe elevation 2. Let's see what that one looks like. Yeah, this is kind of the front. So, you know, maybe we'll just do like a blow up of this area, or we'll do one of this side and one of this side so that we can kind of get two different enlarged elevations, call out some materials or what we're kind of thinking on along those lines. So we're going to use elevation 2. We're back in layout. I'll go to elevation 2, and I'm just going to drop in a, let's go with a 1/2 inch and just see how that works out. All right, so the nice thing about conduct tools is you just kind of build this cartoon set, which is what we've just done, and we've just got those all those thrown on our page. And now what we're going to do is we'll go to File, Document Setup, and look at our references. Now our references, we've got a few different files to relink. So basically these scrapbooks have placeholder files, and so I'm going to select this one and choose Relink, and we're going to go to our desktop temp, and this is the file that we've been working on. Again, make sure that you do save your changes before you relink these guys. So when I sync that up, we're going to see perspectives 1, 2, 3, and 4 drop into place. They're already set up as raster, as the render setting. Line weights are chosen. Everything's optimized so that you just don't have to think about it. You just drop your cartoon set and relink to your proposed conditions. So let that kind of think itself through here. Just a moment. All right, there we go. So now all of our perspective views have dropped into place. Looking good. All right, so we'll go to our next page. Now, this one, for our elevations, we're going to choose Relink, and we're going to relink to that exact same one. So now we're going to see all of our elevation views drop in. Now, our elevation views are typically, if I remember right, we optimize those for the construction document. So the only thing I'm going to change, we'll see what happens when they finish rendering, but I think what I'll change is I want to set these to be a raster rendering setting on these images. Okay, so there's all of our elevations have come in. And so now the task is just to simply stretch these things around and, you know, find the right view that you want to use. And oftentimes I would draw in the ground plane in layout. So let's do that. So I'm just going to first, let's just make sure our document setup, the paper, oh, we already got that open, is set to low. We're good there. That's important. And then we'll go to, let's select all these guys, and we're going to render these as raster, because right now they're set to hybrid. We want that to be just a raster graphic. Whenever you have like kind of heavy styles, it just, you have to show it as a raster, like those sketchy edges won't show through with a hybrid. So let that re-render for just a moment. All right, looking good. So now I can just go in here and say, like, yeah, that looks good. I need to catch maybe more of that fence there for our design. And then I'm going to stretch it out this way as well. Let that render. Okay, there's our entire elevation. And, you know, you can make decisions about sky backgrounds and all that stuff. Typically what I would do is I'd, you know, zoom in, and draw a line. So I'm just going to use my shape style. Here's the stroke is going to be black. I want it to be like maybe, let's just go real heavy, like 5. And I'm going to draw a line from here to here. Cool. All right, so now I've got that. And then I can take my viewport and I can snap it to that line real nice and easy. And then I'll make this into a group, and you've got your elevation. So again, the conduct tool is just huge time savings when it comes to setting up these presentation or design packets. Put this in a group. There we go. There's one. And I would just continue marching through here. And, you know, these two elevations could probably sit on this page just the way they are. This one looks pretty good. I'll use my line tool again. Oh, so my line tool. Needs to be, oh, the stroke is not turned on. There we go. Okay, so there's my line tool. Just kind of a thick, heavy line there, and then I'll take my viewport, snap it to it. Looking good. All right, and then grabbing all this stuff. There's our line, make that a group. Set those up on the page. Cool. Okay, and then of course, you know, we also have some other scrapbooks that we are always happy to share. Let's see, I don't have all those set up again, but typically what I would do is go to Edit Preferences. Again, here's my scrapbooks. I'll click on the plus sign under Dropbox, Resources, Scrapbooks. Say OK. Once I do that, now I've got my linear style. The linear style scrapbook is the one that we just typically use, so I can throw some drawing titles on there really quickly. You know, if you have any call-outs or anything you want to add, very, very quick and easy to get these things set up. So that's looking pretty good. Let's check out our enlarged elevation, see how that one turned out. All right, so now on this, you know, maybe I take, like this side is looking pretty good. So maybe I would like, you know, shrink this down and create just one elevation, like an enlarged elevation here. Kind of trim this down. And then I just make a copy, and you know, maybe I would add a different elevation and turn off everything in the back so I get like a nice clean, just the building without all the context and everything in the background. But you know, that's no problem either. We could just add another elevation scene and then link it up here. But anyway, so that's the idea. Is, you know, with Condoc is you're going to build your model, you're going to layer it within the standards that we provide you, and when you just push those buttons, everything works, everything falls into place, becomes much, much faster and so much simpler to create these presentation packets. So there it is. That's our presentation. We would go to File, Export, PDF, and go sell the design, right? So that's the end of the SketchUp tutorials, and the next step of this is to go back to the render ready proposed design model, and we're going to prepare this thing for Lumion and send it over there and create some photorealistic renderings and animations and virtual tours. So be sure to check that out. You can go to lumion3d.com and grab a trial and take this model to the next level. So give it a shot, and we'll see you on the next tutorial.